Let's go on a journey. Think all the way back to kindergarten. Now, I know that for some of us, this was much longer ago than for others. But remember how excited you were. You stepped into your first big kid classroom. Your imagination ran wild. The possibilities were endless. You could do anything. As you enter the class, you put your belongings away. You notice the brightly colored squares on the floor. You're told to pick one and sit. No one explains why, but you instinctively know this is your place. And don't step off that square. No, no. Don't dare cross over onto a different one. Those squares teach us an early and powerful lesson about boundaries, conformity, and expectations. We already have some biases formed by this time, and in this classroom with a floor full of brightly colored squares, more biases are formed. And these biases will become the invisible architects of our constraints, our first set of boxes. Research shows that by age 7, a child's self-perception and motivation are significantly influenced by how they are labeled and treated. These early labels follow us, shaping our choices and limiting our potential. As we move into the teenage years, the labels are then everywhere. The smart one, the shy one, the artist, the athlete, and even the class clown. These labels aren't just harmless descriptions, though. They shape how others see us and eventually how we'll see ourselves. Then we move into early adulthood. And no matter how you were labeled as a child, questions come up like, where are you going to college? If your answer is, I'm planning to go to college, you'll see raised eyebrows. Conformity is rewarded, and deviation is met with skepticism. Then come the next set of questions and milestones as an adult: marriage and children. Society whispers, when are you getting married? And if your answer is, I'm planning to get married, then people will question, well, what's wrong with you? And when you do marry, the next box appears almost immediately: children. And after you have your first one, people will then ask, when are you giving them a brother or sister? And if you choose not to have children, you're deemed selfish or somehow incomplete. These boxes present themselves throughout our life, subtly insisting that our value is based on how well we check them off. And when we ask people these limiting kinds of questions, what are we projecting onto them? This is restrictive, it's dismissive, and it robs people of their individuality. Let me tell you about a song. It's called Little Boxes. I was introduced to this song about a year ago, and I've sang it almost every day since. Societal expectations and constraints are the very essence of the lyrics Malvina Reynolds wrote about in that song. She remembered driving down the coast of California from San Francisco to San Diego with her family, and she noticed all the houses on the hillside. She refers to them as little boxes because they look just the same as the next. She describes the people in those houses who all went to the university where they were put in boxes and came out all the same. Doctors, lawyers, and business executives who play golf, have pretty children, and drink their martinis dry. They send their children to school, to summer camp, and then to the university, where they too are put in boxes and come out all the same. That song was written in 1962, and yet it still rings true today. Societal pressures and constraints not only limit our choices, but they can be harmful. Studies show that the rising rates of anxiety, depression, and burnout can be contributed to our desire to understand what society expects from us. The American Psychological Association found that 1 in 4 adults feel so stressed to conform to society's expectations that they struggle to function most days. I know this struggle well. I graduated from high school and went to college reluctantly. I got married and I had children in that order. I had my life all the way together based on society standards. And then fast forward to 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a health challenge that shattered my carefully built world. The walls of control and security I thought I had from doing most of the things right crumbled. It was in that moment that I realized that I spent most of my life living by society's rules, staying in my lanes, and feeling trapped. After months of healing and reflection, I began to see the truth. Society's boxes didn't have to define me. And more importantly, the carefully curated boxes that I built for myself didn't have to define me either. There was something more, something freer outside of them. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of my life's choices. And I also value the freedom to question where I'm going. I've talked to many people about how society imposes itself on us. And what I found out is that I'm not alone. The challenges we face today, social inequality, mental health crises, burnout, cannot be solved by people conditioned to stay inside the lines. We can't continue to sit neatly on that square that we were forced to in kindergarten and expect things to change. Here's where you can make a powerful shift by questioning the questions you ask. When you ask someone, where are you going to college? When are you getting married? Or when are you all having children? What assumptions are you making about their life? Think of the limiting beliefs and constraints you're projecting onto them in that moment. Before asking one of those kinds of questions, I want to challenge you to pause and try asking, what excites you? What goals are you achieving right now? Or what's your next big adventure? These simple but very powerful questions expand possibilities and invite people to show you who they are rather than who you think they should be. Every question you ask can either trap someone in a box or give them permission to step out of one. You can reclaim the power of your questions. And it's not just about the questions we ask other people, it's about the questions that we ask ourselves too. Are we creating the lives we love, or are we simply checking off the boxes? As Malvina Reynolds' song, Little Boxes, reminds us, and all the people in the houses went to the university where they were put in boxes and came out all the same. Let's rewrite that song and create our own stories. Let's truly embrace individuality and authenticity. Together, let's create a world where no one feels confined by our expectations and everyone is free to thrive. Because when we question the questions and unpack our assumptions, we not only change conversations, we change lives. Thank you.